everybody. I'm in Bluefield, West Virginia right now. This is Pastor Sherrill Michael. Goes by Padre by me. It's I think if there are 50 or 100 factors for that went into why I'm in ministry and why I do what I do today, he's in the top 3. All the way back to I was probably in middle school or high school when we were in Richmond, Virginia together. He carried me around to all the different churches. He was a pastor of a couple different churches then. He gave me my local minister's license. I think I was 17 at the time or something like that. I was in high school when he gave me that, and he's just one of those foundational members in my faith that led me to where I am today. And I didn't tell you I was going to say any of that. So.
No, you didn't.
But he now pastors a church here in Bluefield, West Virginia. Bluefield First Church of the Nazarene, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be taking teams here this summer. I've always wanted to partner Mission Discovery with things that you're doing, just because I really believe in what you do everywhere. I've never met a pastor that's more passionate about his people than this guy right here. So, Pastor Sherrill, here you are.
Well, what do I say to that? We are, certainly it's been a blessing to have Nathan in our lives since he was 13. I still remember those first days when he had his hair spiked and playing the guitar and running around with my kids and having a blast at Southside Church of the Nazarene. Then later, as I took my own churches, he was with us there, and it's just been a blessing to kind of mentor Nathan and certainly the partnership with him. And we're so blessed to see the ministry that he is involved with and how he's compassionate about people all over the world. And we're thankful that we can partner this summer, probably a beginning of many events as we have them bring, as he brings some groups here to be part of the community in our church for a week at a time as they invest in the community through working and witnessing and certainly showing the love of Christ to many people. So we're looking forward to this, and I'm so glad that even though Nathan lives 6 hours away now, we have more reasons to see each other because he lives in the same town my son and his family live in, plus also they're doing some more investing here in this area. So we're just glad to be able to partnership.
Yeah. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about Bluefield? I mean, Mission Discovery has not been here yet,
Okay.
so all of this is new to them.
Well, first of all, the
Yeah.
town is a beautiful town. It's fairly small, but we love it. It's kind of nestled here in the mountains, and the people back here are just wonderful. They're friendly. So many of the people here are Christians, and there are some that aren't, but that they are seeking, and we believe that we've had plenty of opportunity and continue to invest in people and to show and share the love of Christ. Here in the church, it's a wonderful church. We have been able to be in-house most of this past 14 months. We were closed down for a couple of months, but God's been good to us, kept our people healthy. We've been able to expand our missions and our ministries. Right now, we have a group in the Family Life Center, about 6 or 8 ladies and 1 man who we call our CIA, Church in Action, and they are feeding the police and the fire and rescue people and those that work in the emergency room at the hospital right up on the hill. So they are reaching out with as hands and feet of Christ to our community, and we're so thankful for that. The church is just a loving group of people, and they are not fake. They're genuinely friendly. They are very generous. They want to be the salt and light in this community, and they're doing a great job. We just raised a ton of money over and beyond our regular giving, which has stayed constant through the pandemic. But we were able to do some things here in the church, and we're glad that we have a Family Life Center that we can house people as they come and stay for a week. And we're just looking forward to great potential that we have fulfilling it.
Herd of people in there, so making sure that we're still rolling here.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the church kind of shut down for a couple months, so you started pastoring here right before
Yes.
the pandemic. So how did the pandemic, we'll call it pandemic, and the coronavirus, I guess, affect the ministry, especially?
Well, thankfully it did not have a negative effect too much, because we purposefully during that time stayed in touch with all of our people and the community, and let them know that even though we could not be here in person, that we were still broadcasting online, but also delivering food to people, sending phone calls and cards to people to stay in touch, even sending Sunday school lessons out to our children and teens. And then we would broadcast our service, mostly remotely from Roanoke, where I was living, because we began here in December of 2019, a couple months before the pandemic began, and the potential was so great, and we were afraid that the coronavirus was going to take the wind out of our sails, so to speak, but we purposefully made sure, and with God's help, that didn't. So my wife and I did not move to Bluefield until September of 2020. And that's been helpful, obviously, because we're here now full time and able to minister more effectively.
But you still, even though you didn't move here till September of 2020, you were still here all the time.
Well, I would come down through the week. There's a couple in our church that has a furnished basement, and we stayed there in the middle of the week. I'd come down Sunday and Wednesday, and sometimes other nights or days, but traveling back and forth, hour and 45 minutes each way wasn't too bad. But it's so good to be here now.
Yeah, you're 6 minutes from the church now.
Yeah,
I just did it on the GPS.
6 minutes. We looked at a lot of houses, we found the perfect one at the perfect location.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know I just pulled up and you took me down to the Family Life Center where you mentioned that you had the CIA working. You've talked about them before, so I was excited to meet them because that's some of what we'll be doing this summer is helping them feed law enforcement, and you're feeding first responders.
Yes.
So basically every Wednesday they get a free lunch here at the church.
Free hot meal. It's good food. I've eaten over there.
Yeah.
And it's not just something you'd find in a cafeteria at a hospital, but it's a very good food, homemade, and these first responders are thoroughly enjoying it. We've served about 600 so far, and we probably feed about 50 every week.
Wow. And then you not only do that, you take it to the hospital too.
Couple people would take some boxed hot meals up to the those that work in the emergency room.
Yeah. So this church already, I know a lot of people, coming from all over the United States. I think our group this summer is coming from Pennsylvania, but people around the United States hear Bluefield, West Virginia, and they're like, never heard of that before. So, and then you come here, and it's like it's a small town, so they, but the church is doing a lot in this community, and so it's very cool to come here and you see it very active, and it's very cool because it's not like teenagers or young people doing this stuff. It's very, it's kind of, maybe even intergenerational. You might have some other, so it's just a cool atmosphere. So I would say, so you and I have talked a little bit about what our team will be doing this summer, but what are your goals? What is your hope, by bringing teams here to serve with you in this community? What do you hope?
Well, to me, it's an extension of who we are. It gives us more hands-on because we just want to minister to the hurting and the homeless and the hopeless and all the people that are struggling. And we have a lot of elderly people that, especially with the pandemic, have not had visitors or been able to get out. And so the timing seems good as the doors are opening more for us to be able to do some yard work, take food, maybe paint some houses or whatever we need to do for those that have been struggling. And so we have a certain amount of people here that are able to do that, but this gives us an opportunity to kind of have a big impact for a couple of weeks this summer and to really just take the word of God and the love of Christ to many people, as many as we can.
Yeah. So for those who aren't familiar with how, Mission Discovery does a lot of stuff, internationally, but within the United States, a lot of times we work with churches who, are like this. They have a congregation, but we come and are able to kind of, put a, what do you call that? Boom, the thing where you, the CPR.
Oh yeah,
just like a jolt. We put a jolt into it because because we just have a team of young people that come and they'll get dirty. They don't care.
Yeah, and in fact, I like that jolt comparison or idea because that's something we did in the middle of the pandemic. When it seemed like things were dull and people were scared and lonely, and when we thought we could lose some of our congregation, we decided within a couple of weeks we would come in and make a big difference in the building here as far as the aesthetics of it and also some of the events that we would be doing. And so what you're doing here, I think too, will grab the attention of a lot of people. And you are international, but Scripture talks about sometimes we've been so outside border focused in the church that we've also missed our own Jerusalem people, and so we need to do something here as well as outside of our town and then throughout the world. So you're kind of covering the whole mission.
That's what that's what Mission Discovery, I love about Mission Discovery, because you're referring to when Jesus said go to Judea, Samaria, to the ends of the earth, and so it's kind of like you start small, go wider, right? And so I love Mission Discovery because we're based in Nashville. So we have, our summer's full of Nashville projects right now. And then, we have Westmoreland there in our backyard too. So we're small. We go statewide, to Rapid City. We go to Tacoma, Washington. We've done trips in the Valley, Rio Grande Valley. And we're all over the place in the States. And then we go, outside of the States. But I like to, I've let you know this, but I like to explain to people too when they're day one on a trip to a domestic project where we're partnering with the church. I like to remind them that we're Mission Discovery, like our shirts might say that, but really we're flying under the banner of Bluefield First Church of the Nazarene. And so when we meet people, we're going out and doing yard work or painting or whatever it is we're doing. It's for someone who they're not going to get to that, and they need a little help. But we're like, we're partnering with Bluefield Church of the Nazarene because we're not here forever. And so our hope is and our goal is to refer people back to this church, back to you and your care. And so that's why I say it's kind of like a jolt, because it's like we're able to reach far and wide during that time in just 1 week. And hopefully it brings people back through the doors of the church. And especially those people who are elderly or can't do things on their own or need help, this is the church to be at, because it's very active missionally, that I can see. So.
And while you're doing that, I think it will be an impetus for our own people as they see this excitement and this energy that's happening that week, that it will not go unseen by our own people here, and they may want to, it may spur them to want to do more of that.
That would be awesome.
Especially as we celebrate the results of what you all have done that week, as we look that next Sunday and say these people were helped this week, and we may have some testimonies from some of those people that some godly people came to my house and did this for us, and we were struggling, or we needed this and didn't know where to go, or right now, even in the pandemic, it seems like contractors are busier than ever.
Yeah.
And to get someone to come out and do some of these necessary construction or painting type things, people are having to wait a long time. So we may be able to remedy that for some of them.
Oh yeah.
Plus, it won't cost them anything.
Right.
Or at least not the labor.
Right. Yep. No. Yeah, it won't. And so, yeah, that's amazing. We're excited about it. I'm excited about it. It's been a dream of mine to partner with you and your family, and this is a perfect place.
Yeah. We're excited.
I don't know if we said this already, but Bluefield used to be Little New York. Is that what they called it?
Little Manhattan.
Little Manhattan.
Downtown Bluefield, West Virginia, back when the coal industry was going stronger, and it was a very busy town with tall buildings and a lot of fashion, a lot of excitement, a lot of action. But we're nestled right in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains, and we have people here from all walks of life.
Yeah.
And so it's a very good mix of people to be able to work around.
Yeah, it's cool when you go downtown now. What you see what once was a very active. It's beautiful down there, but I'd say 80% of those buildings are vacant.
Right.
So at Mission Discovery, we do something called God Sightings. It's every night we'll get together and we'll ask our teenagers or our groups or adult group, whoever it is, where did you see God today?
Right.
And so it's a way to look around and pay attention during the day and be thankful and say, okay, well, I did see God here. In your time, I know you started here just after my wedding in 2019.
Yep.
Right?
Yep,
I was in November of 2019, and then
we
started in Danner.
In fact, I think the Sunday after your wedding, we came here, and it's when they voted on us.
Oh, wow. Well, you're here.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I guess that went
got
well.
enough votes.
So I just have to look. So in your time here, and the time that I've been married, how have you seen God here?
Oh my goodness, we've seen some healings.
Oh yeah,
physical healings. We've seen. Oh my goodness, we've seen some spiritual healings. We have seen we baptized a man last Sunday, a young man, who the Sunday before we came wanted to take his life. And then the first Sunday we're here, he gave his heart to the Lord, and he's been so active in the church. He's joined the church. Well, he's joining the church this Sunday. He was baptized last Sunday. He's got a great testimony. And we've seen some families with some emotional and relational issues be healed. We've seen the church grow physically. But the excitement and the desire to just be here and worship together as a family has been enormous. And the opportunities that we've had to join with other groups in the community, and to, like, the CIA has, of course, it was a pipe dream of mine when I came, and Judy has taken it under her belt, and she ran with it and has taken that extra work off my shoulders. She is overseeing it. They're doing a great job. But we've been able to, we've seen God here, there, and everywhere. Every week, he shows up.
That's awesome.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Nathan joining you to lead a little worship. Man, this has already been such a really cool night. I gotta tell you, this is a real treat for me. My very first Mission Discovery trip was actually the summer of 2000, and I was about a year out of college and working at a church in Katy called Westland Baptist Church, and we took our Reynosa, Mexico mission trip, and on that very first trip, our worship leader was none other than Mr. Jim Weber. So, and I really had no idea how to lead worship at the time. So I'm now a pastor in Missouri City at a campus of River Point Church, and we continue to take mission trips every summer and love doing that. But appreciate the invitation to lead worship with you guys tonight. So I'm going to lead two songs. If you want to pull them up, we're going to do One Thing Remains and Build My Life. If you don't know them, I hope you like them. And if you do know them, I hope you'll sing out with me. Here we go. Let's try this together.
Higher than the mountains that I face, stronger than the power of the grave, constant through the trial and the change. One thing remains, one thing remains. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love. And on and on and on and on it goes. Well, it overwhelms and satisfies my soul. And I never ever have to be afraid. This one thing remains. This one thing remains. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love. Alright, we're gonna sing in death and life. In death, in life, I'm confident, covered by the power of your great love. My debt is paid, there's nothing that can separate my heart from your great love. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love. We'll sing in death and life one more time. In death, in life, I'm confident, covered by the power of your great love. My debt is paid, there's nothing that can separate my heart from your great love. Last time. 'Cause your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love. Sing worthy. Worthy of every song we could ever sing. Worthy of all the praise we could ever bring. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Jesus the name. Jesus the name above every other name. Jesus the only one who could ever save. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Oh, we live for you. Sing holy and holy. There is no one like you. show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me, as I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation, and I will put my trust in you alone, and I will not be shaken.
Thanks again, everybody.